Welcome to another episode of Prioritize. They accomplish while you drown in lists. It's difficult to juggle your responsibilities. Husband, father, brother. It goes on, but your energy doesn't.
You pondering what I'm pondering?
Prioritize what's right for you, not what's left behind. This is Prioritize with Toby Baker.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Prioritize. Here we discuss prioritizing faith and family and relationships and a little bit more than that. I'm your crazy white, formerly fat host, the Baker Boy himself. Welcome to the show. I am so glad you're here. It's been forever since I've been back in the studio with the microphone ready to fire up and let it loose. You're going to have to, well, you don't have to forgive me. It'd be a choice. You don't have to forgive anybody. You can go on hating like haters hate, but I don't anticipate you're one of those haters. You know why? Because you're in this audience. I have a great audience. I have fantastic people that listen to this program, and yes, that includes even you. I was out and about in Indianapolis and Chicago and Detroit. I had a terrible microphone. I tried podcasting. Honestly, I did. I mean, I was podcasting, but it sounded terrible. Do I put out crap? Huh? Don't answer that. Do I put out crap? You're going to ask me that question? No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. Okay, got it. I had published a couple of episodes, maybe even 3, with just a different microphone. I was trying it out. I was out and about on the mean streets of Helena. No, I wasn't there. In Montana. I was just out in Indianapolis and Chicago. I'm like, hey, maybe I can record a podcast. And I did, and then it didn't sound very good. I'm like, they're not going to want to hear this, are they? I mean, these guys demand excellence and quality. And by golly, someday I believe you actually get it. Until then, I'm so glad you're listening to me. Can I lament with you for just maybe this podcast? I don't know what's happening to the fast food industry. Honestly, I don't. I was on this huge health kick, and I still am, by the way. But every once in a while, I venture out, and I'm like, hey, what if we tried some French fries? The Golden Arches are looking pretty good. Arby's is sounding great. So I've been on this. I haven't broken away from it entirely, but I am kind of, dipping my toes back in the water of the fast food industry. And I must say, it's really cold. Those waters are cold. Not comfortable, really cold, like ice cold, like in a bad way. My wife and I were leaving a meeting, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't have lunch. I didn't have dinner. I didn't have time. I could have prioritized time, but I didn't. There were so many things that we needed to get done before I left the project site, and then zoom home, pick up my wife, and then we're off to our home group meeting, and then afterward, I'm like, I need something of some substance. So she says, hey, I got to go to Walmart anyway. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We can, we'll skip on through the McDonald's, right? So I get to the McDonald's line, Joyce and I, and we're there, and there's so many cars. You would almost think people actually enjoy eating there. And I look over to the Arby's right next door, and I'm like, look, there's nobody there. So we got out of the McDonald's line and into the proverbial, there was no line at the Arby's. We just drove right up to the drive-thru window. And I'm like, hey, I was able to get right in. You ever have that feeling where you're just like, oh, it's like a rock star, like the water's parted just for you. You walk right up. Well, in this case, I was in a car. I drive right up and I place my order. Yes, I would like, so what did I order? I knew I had the fries because this is important. And then I had a spicy chicken sandwich. That's what I had. So I placed the order and we roll right up. And we're waiting for, I don't know, maybe a minute. Kind of typical. And she comes to the window. I hand her the money. A couple moments later, she comes back, hands me a drink. I think I had a Jamocha shake. That was the best part about the meal. That was the first thing that came out. And maybe a couple of minutes pass by, and I'm thinking, wonder why this is taking so long. And then she comes back to the window and asks me to pull ahead, if I could, just to allow the others to come through. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a jerk. I can pull ahead, no problem. But I'm looking at Joyce like, who is she talking about? Because we both look behind us. There's nobody there. There's nobody in the parking lot aside from, I think, 2 cars of the people that worked there. Otherwise, there's no other customers. There's nobody inside the restaurant except those who were working at the restaurant. There's nobody behind us. Okay, we'll pull ahead. No problem. So we pull ahead. 4 minutes goes by. And she brings the food out. I'm like, oh, this is going to be so fresh, so good. And I get into the fries. Ooh, oh, my word. Curly fries were dead. Dead as a doornail. Dead like the Christmas Carol type dead as a doornail. I'm like, Joyce, you should taste this. You should taste this. It's terrible. You got to taste these fries. I'm not tasting those fries. I said, I don't know what happened, but I'm not eating these fries. We've waited almost 10 minutes for food. It should be piping hot and fresh and succulent. It was none of that. Can I tell you that? It was none of that. I said, we're rolling around. We're going to get back in that line. So we roll around. There's a person actually in the drive-through window placing an order. And I thought, you know what? I just went through that. I'm not going to wait again. So I rolled back around directly up to the drive-through window. Yes, Toby is a jerk. Have you visited my new website, imajerk.com? You should check it out. It's really cool. I tap on the window. Very nice, very friendly. And she's right there. Oh, yes. Is something wrong? I said, yeah, these fries, they're like stone cold. Oh, she says, well, that's because our fry light is out. It's not working. It's malfunctioned. Fry light. My fries have been sitting under a fry light, which has been malfunctioned. So they've been sitting out in the cold for 7 minutes while you've been waiting for the fresh chicken sandwich to come out, the buffalo chicken sandwich. Yeah. Okay, can I get some new fries, please? These are terrible. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to ask you to pull ahead, though. Oh, okay. Well, that's a surprise that you didn't have fresh fries right there. So I pull forward, and then another few minutes goes by. It's about 4 minutes to be exact. And then they emerge with fresh fries and a very swift and heartfelt apology. Sorry about your wait. Here you go. Oh, boy. So we roll away, and I had my fresh French fries. I had the rest of my buffalo chicken sandwich because, alas, that was fresher when I, first pulled around. I thought, I'm not going to wait for the French fries to come out before I start eating this chicken sandwich. The next day, I thought, hey, Burger King sounds good for lunch. I had fasted through breakfast, so I didn't really have breakfast. It's like breaking your fast. That's what breakfast is. I didn't have food in the morning prior to going to work, so I fasted right through the morning, and now I'm hungry. Let's grab something to eat. I zip on over to Burger King, and I pull up to the drive-thru window. Lo and behold, the very nice lady on the other side said, I'm sorry, sir, we're only accepting cash right now. Our debit card machine is down nationwide. Beg your pardon? So all of the debit credit card machines all over not working at all? No, I mean, we can give this a try and see if it works, but I can't make any guarantees. I was a tad bit hungry. I said, yeah, let's go ahead. We'll give it a shot. Ordered a burger, fries, and a soda. Oh, it's not real soda. It's not. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they perhaps they intentionally try to screw up the formula, the mixture, if you will, of carbonation and syrup, because every single time it comes out horrible. So I get my order because, as it turned out, the credit card machine did work, and I pull around and I park and I ate some quasi-okay fries. The soda was terrible, and the cheeseburger was okay. So I'm not thrilled about any of it, and then I'm watching these people try to get into the dining room area. Do you remember the days way, way back in 2019, early 2020? I don't know how old you were 2 years ago. Back in early 2020, when you could just open the door to a restaurant and walk right in. Do you remember these days? They used to exist. Of course, my boys are all grown now, and they'll say, Dad, you tell stories just to make us laugh. No, guys, honest. You really could just walk right into a restaurant and you'd place an order and you'd get fresh food. Dad, that's silly. He's gone off his meds again. Boys, we're going to have to take him back to the hospital. I'm like, no, honest. You used to be able to do this. I'm watching these people, one right after the other, trying to get into the Burger King dining area inside. Couldn't do it. They were denied. And I thought, after eating the mediocre food, I could really go for a decent, like a good milkshake if there are those out there. Probably not from here. So I tried to find another nearby restaurant. Couldn't find one. Had to travel all the way across town to a Steak and Shake. You been to these before? Do you have these where you are? We used to have one till it closed down sometime around 2020. And then there's another one that closed down sometime around 2020. And then that was it. They were all gone. Well, then they had one come back earlier this year, 2022. I'm not sure what year you're listening to this. Sorry. Back to the Future Day was just a couple days ago. So maybe I don't know how that would work, and it doesn't matter. It's not part of this podcast.
Then why you bring it up?
I don't know. It just kind of, got up there. I hear questions in my head all the time.
You mean like if I only had the brain?
That's not funny. So my quest to find a milkshake was almost there. Steak and Shake, right there. They do steaks. They do milkshakes. Surely I would be able to get one here. I'm in line. There's 4 cars ahead of me. They finally go through, and then I pull up. Sorry, sir, our drive-thru window is closed, but if you'd like to come inside, we could get you here. How about no? How about I'm going to just go to a grocery store and get my ice cream inside? I waited, and the drive-thru behind 3 other cars, they all got to go. And what is happening? It's like there is this conspiracy against the baker boy himself. I'm not trying to dive back into the midst of fattiness just so I can go back to an easier intro on my podcast. I like saying formerly fat host. I enjoy that part. I am your crazy-eyed formerly fat host, the baker boy himself. I'll live with that. I was a bland 238 pounds. And then I made a decision. I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to be that anymore. Got down to 205. And now I fluctuate between 205 and 206.9. Can I get down to 200? Sure can. But that's not for this podcast. Have you been to a Taco Bell lately? I went into one the other day. I thought tacos sound good. I've tried the Burger King. They don't always accept debit card. They would only accept cash. So I can't always go to the BK. Have you been through the McDonald's? Have you been through the Arby's? There's trouble on the horizon, folks, everywhere I look. I went into Taco Bell. There's nobody working the front counter. There are people working there, but no one is working the front counter. Instead, they have 2 of these kiosks. Have you seen these things? These are fantastic. You don't get to or have to talk to anybody. Hopefully you order the right thing. Not that it was always correct when you ordered it from a person anyway. However, they would read the order back to you and say, hey, I just want to make sure I got the right thing here. Got your order correct? Okay, that'll be X amount of dollars and your food will be up shortly. Thanks so much for coming to Taco Bell. Next, please. None of that exists anymore. You walk up to a kiosk. There's a nice friendly, hello, welcome to Taco Bell. It's all in text. I guess since we're so used to texting, this isn't good. I'm not enjoying this at all. I miss 2019 where you could actually walk in and there's people at the counter and they would greet you. Welcome, good sir, to thine Taco Bell. How may we be of service? All right, maybe I never got a greeting just like that. However, this is a far cry from where we used to be, so I got to fumble through, and it's way too long. I don't like ordering through a kiosk when there's people right there. I walked into a restaurant. It's a fast food restaurant. This is not fast. How is this fast? I place my order, and I go sit down. 8 minutes later, I get my order. It wasn't correct. I was still missing my Nacho Supreme. I go to sit down. There's some kid. And this really exercised my patience. He is playing his cell phone YouTube videos as loud as humanly possible. When did this start? When do we care so little about the people beside us that we're just going to play our music or our commercials or our TV shows as loud as we can, regardless of profanity or whatever else is going on that TV screen of yours? Your little phone, we don't care about other people. We don't need to consider other people. Hello? This is a shared restaurant. Can we just bring that volume a little bit down? Or maybe what are these things called? Earbuds? Have we heard of these things before? I don't understand what has happened to the fast food industry. I don't know how it got this low, how it got so bad. I did go to another restaurant a couple days ago. It was, I think they're in the fast food category. They're the ones that are always chock full in their drive-thru. So much so, in fact, it wraps around the building twice. Why is this? Because people enjoy their food, and they're willing to pay the couple extra dollars for the good food that comes out hot and fresh with a smile. People that serve, like there's people there, people that work there. There's people, like real people. Not a doll, not a kiosk. It's a people type people business where they're in the people business. And I think the CEO and the CFO and the board of directors, they understand this. It's called Chick-fil-A. Have you ever been there? Oh, my word. We don't have one of those where I live. I got to travel like 45 minutes to get to the nearest Chick-fil-A. They do have a Culver's that just opened up, and they're pretty spot on. Good shakes, good burgers, good fries, good service. I like that. I'll pay for that. There once was a time, it's story time, isn't it?
Oh, it's always story time with you.
There once was a time where you would go into a Golden Arches and they had fresh French fries. Rare is the occasion you ever get that today. You would have soda that actually tasted like Coca-Cola Classic. You would have cheeseburgers that were hot. You would have chicken nuggets that looked like chicken nuggets from a chicken. We love to see you smile. I don't think they love to see anything anymore. I don't think they care. I don't know where the caring is. Do you remember, did you remember the movie The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, and there was some other people that played in it also? Can't remember the names, sorry. There's this part in the movie where he is relating his perspective of how he sees the Japanese culture. And he's walking around and he's talking to the audience about what he is seeing. He says, they are, how did that go? They are an intriguing people. They are an intriguing people. From the moment they wake, they devote themselves to whatever they pursue. They devote themselves to the perfection of whatever they pursue. Oh, where has that trait gone in the U.S.? Where has that trait gone in fast food? Have we just come to expect mediocrity, if not less than mediocrity, from our fast food restaurants, and we're willing to pay for it because it, quote unquote, saved us some time? I put it to you that aside from a few visits to my fast food restaurants of late, they've all been disappointment. I have paid for it with my health and with my time. It now doesn't take me any longer to get through the line at Chick-fil-A or Culver's than it does at McDonald's or Burger King. They take just as long, except at those other two that I mentioned. And I'm guessing there's other good fast food restaurants out there. Gang, this is just what I got in my area. And I know you're listening from all over the place, and thank you for it. I just want you to know, if you're experiencing these things, you're not alone. I lament with you. I absolutely hate that it's come down to this. I remember playing soccer back in high school, and the coach after the game, this would have been like junior, senior year, coach comes out, hey, great game, guys, brings us a tray filled with a medium French fries. Because after you've expended all of the salt in your body, you need to re-saltify. And how better to do that than with really salty French fries from McDonald's? They were good. We liked them. We enjoyed them. We wanted more. I don't know what's happened. What happened to devoting ourselves to the perfection of whatever it is that we pursue? Can we do better in these areas? I don't know. Maybe you don't work for the fast food industry. Maybe you're done with the fast food industry. Maybe somewhere along the line, the fast food industry became all about attempting to become fast and less about attempting to make sure there's a smile on the face of the customer. I don't know, gang. That's just what I've been experiencing lately. Can't say I've been at all impressed, nor do I recommend going to any of them. I mean, other than Culver's and Chick-fil-A, I'm not been thrilled with the service, or in my cases, the lack thereof. But if I can leave you with anything today, I'd love to encourage you to devote yourself to the perfection of whatever it is you're going to pursue. Rise above the mediocrity. Let's raise the status quo, shall we?